Welcome to Liberating in a Beauty Revolution. I am Lucia Gabriela, and today we have a special guest. Her name is Jennifer Han. Um, but before we listen to Jennifer, I have an amazing topic that is called Letting Go of the Scale, how we determine our worth and how to stop obsessing over a number. We want to remind you what Liberating in the Beauty is about. We are all about coming together in a sacred space to break free from everything that's keeping us stuck in all areas of our life, emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, spiritually, and financially. So when we can come together and rediscover true self and welcome and embrace a divine divinity, of course, and live the life that we truly desire and really, really want in life. So we want to welcome Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming today. I want to introduce you. I want to read her bio because I love her bio. It's nice, short, and sweet. Jennifer Hand is a speaker, writer, author, a world traveler, an adventurer. I can't pronounce that word, so you're going to have to pronounce it for me. A holistic health advocate and a founder of www.genhan.com. Her life mission is to help women transform their relationship to food, weight, and body while achieving lasting weight loss. She guides women to find this transformation through one-on-one coaching and her signature 8-week program, Healing from Within. And at Liberating in Beauty, we love everything that is about healing from within. Thank you, Jennifer,
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Awesome. So, share with us the topic that we decided to talk about, letting go of the scale. Introduce yourself a little bit more. Talk about, we want to hear more about your story and like the amazing message that you have. And let's dive into the topic of letting go of the scale.
Yeah, so I think our journey of, with food and body image and finding peace in our eating and in our bodies, um, the scale plays such a big part of that because we can get so obsessed with that number and obsessed with, fixating on that kind of barometer of success. Of if it's a low number, we feel good, and if it's not, we don't feel good. So I thought this was a really great topic, and I think so many women struggle with fixating on that one thing and basing their food and their diet on achieving a certain number on that scale. And for me, from my journey, for about 12 years of my life, I had kind of just crazy, all over the place eating, eating disorder, and just really struggled with myself and my body, and just wanting to be thin all the time.
I thought this was a really great topic, and
So I have,
fixating on
the
that one
scale was, for me, something I really, really needed to let go of. And I kind of, was so obsessed with it all the time that I kind of just woke up one day and was like, you know what? I need to just let go. I need to like try a period in my life where I just wouldn't weigh myself, because I was weighing myself every single day, sometimes twice a day. So I decided for 1 month I was just gonna not weigh myself, and I was gonna just kind of see how I felt, because it was driving me insane. So I
something I really wanted to let go of.
felt like this inner desire to really just try something new. And what I found was pretty amazing in that I really found this freedom that I really didn't know existed in my body. I found just a really, really innate sense of peace of not having to fixate on a number. And I didn't transform my body and my weight and my my mental state overnight, but it was kind of that beginning point of where I was able to really just see that there was a new way to live instead of having to be so obsessed with the scale. So that was a really big turning point for me. And so many of the clients I work with also struggle with the scale because they they want to lose weight, or they want to be thin, and and they're just, every morning and every night they're weighing themselves. And so we work on kind of letting go a little bit and loosening the process of kind of this inner pressure to be a certain number, to be a certain size. And so I thought, I thought I'd share just a couple of tips and kind of tools, and almost a new way of looking at how we view the scale and how we view ourselves. So as far as the scale, I think for us it has become this measure of success. Like, it's become, okay, here we are, we're X pounds, we want to lose 15 pounds, so we have this kind of goal in mind. So we measure ourselves as we incrementally reach that goal, and it becomes in our heads, this is when I reach this goal, this will be my success. And I think we also really, a lot of people who are weighing themselves all the time get kind of like obsessed with it. Every morning they're weighing themselves, every night they're weighing themselves, and it becomes, it really changes how you feel. So it changes, you wake up, it's not the number you want, so you start your day and you're really beating yourself up, and you're critical of yourself, and you're, trying to diet and trying to, not eat that much because you want the number to be different the next day. And so it kind of becomes this almost mental cycle of like craziness. It's we, on one hand, we just want to get to that number, but on the other hand, it affects how we feel almost every day, and affects, how we feel about ourselves and what we're thinking about ourselves. And so it becomes this kind of negative spiral that it just kind of continues on. And so we need to sort of almost take a step out of that cycle. And it really becomes our indicator of health. And I don't think that's really a fair assessment, because, obviously, and I'll talk about how there's so much more than just that number. But kind of viewing this number as something that, it's like the be all end all of a measure of how we're feeling and what success looks like on our journey of finding a natural weight and being comfortable in ourselves. And what we really long for is just a more satisfying way to live, because that's not a sustainable, weighing ourselves every day and getting caught up in that kind of back and forth mindset is really just not satisfying. We don't feel good when we do it, and even though we don't feel good and we know we don't feel good, it's still hard to kind of break out of that. So I think, this whole obsession with the scale is almost like a deep desire to really find something that's more satisfying to us, and something that kind of fills our soul and brings us peace, and feels good for us, instead of kind of almost working against us. So I kind of wanted to just start out and pose the question of, as you're working on letting go of the scale, of who you really are besides that number. Because I think if we take that view of, okay, if we think about all of the people that we love in our lives, especially the females, our friends, our sisters, all of the women that we hold so dear to us, and we think, okay, if we judge them by the number that they are, we just wouldn't do that. It's like this, it's almost preposterous to think that, like, we would ever judge someone we love on the size, or on the size that they are, or on the number that they are on the scale. And that's how if you look at it as how we're judging ourselves, it kind of is almost like I really am judging myself on something I would never judge anyone else on. So kind of just taking a second to reflect on that, and to really ask yourself, who am I besides the number? And just it's good sometimes to do kind of journaling, or just kind of a writing exercise, where because in our head can kind of feel jumbled, and sometimes be all over the place, but writing down, who am I? Who am I besides the number? And just going into all the qualities that you really are, and it may start externally, but going internal as well, and thinking about, I'm a sister, I'm thoughtful, I'm a leader, I'm, my spirit, I'm, all of the things, my experiences, and all of the things that you are in your life, other than this number, and starting to kind of broaden that sense of of, okay, this is just one thing that is in my life, this number, and starting to think about all of the other characteristics and experiences that make up who each of us is. It starts to kind of loosen that fixation on the number, and just kind of really have, when you have this whole list, and then you realize, oh, we're obviously a sum of so many parts, that this tiny number on the scale is just one of those little things that, why are we fixating on it so much? And it's kind of what we focus on expands. So if we're focusing on this number all the time, I mean, it's just going to dominate our thoughts. So kind of shifting out of that focus on just the number and into all of the other qualities and all of the other characteristics and things that make us who we are. And I think, a second really important thing to remember is focusing on how you feel. And I know that, some people's reaction to that is, well, what if I don't feel good in my body? What if I don't like how I feel? And I think that's still a good starting point, because focusing on how you feel, even if you don't like it at first, allows you to kind of be where you are. And with the scale, it's become something concrete, something tangible that we can see our progress. And when we kind of let go of needing something really concrete and really, it's really black or white. We have a number, we're trying to get to this number, and we can measure our progress. But when we kind of start to go inside and check in with our body and how we're feeling, it loosens that need for that black or white thinking, and starts to kind of get into that more gray area, which really is what life is. Life really isn't black or white. So starting to kind of, have breathing exercises, or just sitting for a couple minutes and kind of checking in with your body to see how you're feeling and see what's going on, and that kind of makes you aware, and brings more awareness into your life about how you feel inside, which is where, of course, the lasting change really happens, on our inside. And the third thing I wanted to mention was, and this is really kind of common sense, but I think we forget it so much when we're thinking about the scale, is that our weight fluctuates. Especially as women, with our hormone fluctuations, with all the things that are going on, our stresses, depending on how much water we've had that day, depending on our meals, our food, what time of the month, what time of the year, our weight really fluctuates. So it's not as concrete as we think. We want to, we're this weight, we want to be this weight, and we think it's so black or white. But when you start to really, think about the little fluctuations on a daily basis, it becomes not as black or white as we thought, and it's like, well, why would we base our worth and our how we're feeling about ourselves on something that really does change? It changes throughout our lives, and we're trying to get to this place where we can just, we're at this weight we want to be, and then just kind of relax, and everything's going to be okay. And really that never really happens. You get to that weight and you want to be the lower weight, or you can't maintain that weight, or you've been dieting and it just doesn't fit in with your lifestyle to continue that diet. So kind of all of these components come into play when you realize that your weight fluctuates throughout the day, throughout the week, and even just throughout your life. Pregnancy, and after you've had a baby. I mean, there's just so many things that kind of come into play, that to fixate on this one thing just doesn't really have that same punch as when you realize that, oh, it's always fluctuating a little bit. And the fourth thing I wanted to mention was, getting on a scale is really almost a way that we feel like we have some control. We want to be able to control our bodies. We want to be able to really feel like we are driving the ship when it comes to our food and our eating and our weight. And I think underneath that sense of control is really a fear. and a fear of not trusting yourself to eat enough or to eat too much, or being afraid that if you don't control it, you're going to just wake up, 20 pounds heavier, and just kind of let yourself eat the entire day, the entire week. And it's about this deep-seated fear that we have that, we're not really enough as we are, and not really having that sense of groundedness in who we are, and really feeling kind of at home and in our bodies, and having that trust in our bodies. And that's a really, really, a big area to explore as we start to let go of the scale. And because that sense of that illusion of having control is really an illusion, because we really don't have as much control as we think, because if we are trying to lose weight, and we are dieting and eating a certain way, and yes, we may be controlling it, but something's going to come up, a happy hour, friends want to go out to dinner, a holiday, and then you kind of get off track, and you lose control. So it's kind of less about control and more about exploring that fear of, well, what will happen if I listen to my body, and how can I trust my body, and feel comfortable in that, and not be scared that I'm gonna gain 10 pounds in a week, and just let myself eat everything in sight, and really exploring how to kind of sit with that fear, and almost move towards more compassion around that fear, and realizing that as we even look at that fear, it starts to that form of control starts to loosen, and starts to kind of dissipate a little bit, because it's like this, we're afraid of looking at our fear, but when we start to look at our fear, it sort of it gets a little less scary and a little bit more manageable. It's like when we push it away and we don't want to look at it, it's scary. It's this big unknown. But when we kind of gently approach it and look at it and kind of sit down with the fear, it becomes just almost something that's more manageable to look at, and to soften, and to be with. Um, and the fifth um, tip, I guess it's really sort of a challenge, and I wanted to kind of create a little mini let go of the scale challenge, and just challenging the viewers to let go of the scale for a month. And I know a month sounds like a lot, but it really is. It's so life changing, I think. And maybe if you're weighing yourself every single day and you just can't fathom a month, maybe having it be 2 weeks or something. But having kind of a set period of time where you let go of the scale, and you kind of just explore a new way to really see yourself. And it's doesn't mean you can never weigh yourself again. It doesn't mean that you're just banished from the scale, and you can't check in with yourself. But it kind of gently, when you're making a pact, it kind of gently forces you to really see what else is out there in terms of how you're feeling about yourself and your body, and and kind of what I was saying in the beginning, and that more satisfying way to live. Because when you do let go, and you do start to realize that you can feel good, and you can feel comfortable in yourself and in your body without basing it on a number, that becomes really satisfying, and that obsession kind of starts to fade away a little bit.
That's awesome. So far we have forget the number, right? Like forget the number, the scale. Then we have focus on how you feel. I love that focus because um, you know, working with emotions, that's one of the things I like to work the most. And people don't realize that when you really focus on how you feel and how your body feel, it is more light, it is more liberating than just focusing on a number. And a lot of people focus on the number for the age and the number for how much they have in the bank and that they consider success and the money for the scale and money, like so just feeling it is just an awesome way to really start learning more about ourselves. I love that aspect of it, and I like the aspect that you mentioned about the weight. fluctuate. I can't pronounce that one yet. That fluctuation. Yeah, like I remember when I was little, my sister used to always compare with other kid, like, oh, she weigh 100 pounds and like 10 grade or something like that. And then like since little, like we get obsessed with the number, and like we don't realize that when we're growing up, like our bodies change. Women get a little more, you know, um, bigger because we know our body change in different areas and different angles. And it's very empowering to teach kids from the beginning that for the first 18 years of their life, they don't have to worry about like really focusing on on the scale that much, unless they're really not eating healthy. That's a different story. But like if you are being active and you are being like doing activities that you love every day, you should be concerning and focusing on the scale number. For some reason, I'm hearing like an echo, and I'm not sure if it's my computer or not. So it's like it's keeping me out of track of thought. But get over the fear. Yes, it is. I love that. Get over the fear. Um, and that's a big one. I feel like anything that has to do with emotions and weight is so linked together. Um, the whole thing about how you feel and let go of the fear. It's kind of like when you start going into a new diet, or like I don't like to call it diet, but it's a new lifestyle, like you said, like something will come up. There's a fear that when you start changing something in your life, it's like you're getting out of your comfort zone. What I like to share with people is that if you start getting out of your comfort zone and you start um, having fears about it, embrace it. Enjoy that fear, like you said, like don't push it away, just embrace it because it is empowering. It's empowering to see that you're coming out of that comfort zone and you embracing it and you seeing at the fear, like you said, like looking at it, um, and allow yourself to feel and to just experience that for the time being and be present with it and learn from it, and then go with making the next step in your life. And definitely, fears is like a big one for a lot of people. It's a big holdback for people to really lose the way that they really want in their life.
There was an echo.
It is an echo, right? I was like, I turn off everything in my computer. The only thing I have on is yeah. So we have any viewers? Please forgive us that we had a issue from the beginning. So um, I don't know.
Yeah, but I did, what you said about two things. What you said about the fear is, I think that's such a good point because it's like when you do face the fear, it becomes a little bit less scary, and you are outside your comfort zone, which means you're growing and you're changing. But I think having a mini challenge of letting go of the scale for 2 weeks or a month makes it a bit more manageable to like, okay, I can do it for, I can explore that sense of trying to control and looking at my fear for 2 weeks or a month and then kind of seeing how you feel about it. Because, if you say, okay, I'm never going to weigh myself again, or I'm going to weigh myself, once every other month or every 6 months, it, um, it kind of brings it down to something a little bit more manageable. And I love what you said about, other numbers too, like your age, your bank account, your, whatever that your gene size, your scale number. It's like, it's so true because it's we have these mental images of what something means, and when you kind of are getting more in touch with how you're feeling, no matter what that means in your head, it's liberating. You don't your age doesn't really mean anything. It's just what you're mentally making it mean, and what you're attributing all that you should be doing. Or so I think that's a really, really great point, is to have with anything, the scale, your age, your your status, whatever it is, of getting more in touch with how you're feeling instead of what that mental image of what you're supposed to, what it's supposed to look like, or what you're supposed to be. So I love that. That was a really good point.
Yes, and it's not just on weight, but I feel like everybody's so focusing on the number. Like even us, how many clients you have, how many viewers you have, how many this you have, how many followers you have. Like it's just at one point it gets stressing, it
Yeah.
gets ridiculous. It's like even as a business owner, it's like I totally get like overwhelmed. Like when I start thinking about the numbers because it's not about the number. It's about how many people you can reach out. Like the why of your life, like the true why of your life. Why you losing weight? Like
Yeah.
why you doing what you're doing? Like why we are here hanging out? In Google. Like why we sharing this message? There's a reason that we. I think like I feel that we have to start living our life because of the big why. Um, I was gonna post something on my social media about the kids are the greatest manifestors of life because they focus on the why, now on the how. Like we adult, we get to the point where we like focus on like how we're gonna do this, how many people, how, and not the why. And even with weight loss, like why you losing the weight is more important than the number that you're gonna lose it. You want to have the big, and that's the other things I don't like to work too much with a number when people, when we do the vision boards and we do manifestation boards, we work and we always want to put a goal, and usually a lot of time the goal has to be concrete and like have to be specific, and that's how they teach you, right? Like it has to be specific and concrete to make it a reality. And a number is important to make it concrete and specific and a reality. But when it comes to weight, like you said, let it go and just challenge it and just drop it through the window. I'm getting too excited here. But drop that number and focus on like why you want to lose the weight. Could be for health reasons. Could be because you feel great. Because so many reasons. I am going through my 40-day fast I'm guided to do for spiritual reasons, but not like a heavy duty fast, but it's like a very gentle fast and then it's gonna go into a liquid fast. And I have not gained I have not checked myself on the scale. I literally don't have a scale at home either. I don't live with scales. I don't even know how tall I am. I just know that I don't worry about it. People ask me how tall you are, how much you weigh, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, let me just get my physical. I have no clue.
Yeah, no,
But
I'm the same. I actually, I don't want to know how much I weigh because I think for me, because I was in kind of disordered eating for so long, the number trips me up. If it was this, it would just mean something. So not knowing what I weigh, I think almost brings me a sense because I know how I feel. I know how my clothes and my body, am I comfortable in myself? And um, I kind of like, it's the same thing. It's like it's just a number. What does it mean really? So it's really more about how you're feeling. Because you could still be 110 pounds and feel so awful about yourself because you're not appreciating yourself from within, from a sense of centeredness and a sense of who you really are. It's just kind of this number that you might not even still be happy with when you get there. So it's yeah, I think numbers are that's a really that could be like a speech or a blog post or something. The focus of our society on just on numbers.
hmm and it becomes very ridiculous how we pass that on to the kid, and all the kids are focusing about the numbers too, and it's becoming too irrealistic to reality, like the double concept, like it is not real. Like a number, it is good to have it as the to work with as a margin of guidance, but not like to be the true goal of what we had in our life, because at the end, the numbers become irrelevant in an aspect, like how old you are, like how much you weigh, how tall you are. It's just silly in an aspect. Um, Jennifer, Jennifer has a special gift for all our viewers, and the gift is a must-have guide to end the diet cycle. And you're going to be able to find that at our website, www.liberatinginnerbeauty.com. Again, it's www.liberatinginnerbeauty.com. And when you sign up for a free Try Love Circles membership, you're going to be able to find not just Jennifer, but amazing stuff. We have an ebook that we talk about fasting. We have a gift from all our speakers from our radio show and our YouTube show. We also have different programs. The 28-day Liberating in the Beauty Revolution program that we created in 2012 with amazing 18 mentors from all over the world. So you go to get all the you free goodies at liberatinginthebeauty.com. And you know what I think Jennifer is we had these technological problems today before the call, and during the call with the echo and and whatever else going on, I found out that we are in like Mercury retrograde. So
Yeah.
it's like we have this whole technological problems going on. So if you're a viewer of us, and you watch this recording and then you're like figuring out what's going on, just remember that it has been recorded in a day of Mercury retrograde. So everybody's going cuckoo about it. So 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 much fun. So Jennifer, do you want to explain to us what is the must-have guide to end the diet cycle? What is
Yeah,
it
so
like?
it's a mini ebook where I think many women who struggle with their weight kind of get into this cycle of, not even consciously, but really getting into this cycle of, okay, for the next 3 months, I'm eating no carbs. I'm not eating after 7. They get in kind of this diet mentality of like, I have to go on this specific diet to lose weight. And then, after 3 months, they reach their goal weight and they realize they haven't eaten, a donut in forever and they really want a donut. And then that sets them down this path of like, okay, well, now I want ice cream and now I want, cookies. And it's kind of, and then, after a week, they're like, oh, I have to eat how I used to eat. And so it's kind of this whole cycle of dieting and then overeating and then dieting again. And so it's just it's 5 kind of must-have tips to really start to to take a step back from that and to really bring about a sense of freedom and of peace, in the way you eat and the way you feel in your body, and to just kind of get out of that cycle so you can just eat normally, eat and not have it be this kind of big production of going on a diet and then falling off the wagon and then kind of getting back on. So yeah, so it's great. Check it out, and yeah, if you have any questions about it, you can shoot me an email or on Facebook. So
Cool. I want to talk. I want to touch on the aspect of like the fear aspect of it because, like I was mentioning before, I'm going through my 40 days fast. I have already done in my life for years like liquid fast, water fast, dry fast, and all the kind of fast. But I have never done a too long. Like I did like a liquid fast for 30 days, and that's when we were doing the Liberating in the Beauty Revolution 28-day programs. Um, and it was interesting to see what a lot of things came up. And one of the things that I always like to share with everyone, men and women, is that when you're going through a life, transformation, like a life change in your life, like going into a different like eating habit, always get support. You get a community that support you. Get a coach. Get a mentor. I really don't care if you are saying, "Oh, I cannot afford a coach or mentor." Just get somebody. I mean, they
yeah,
like just get that support system that you need because it's truly, truly important. I tell you by experience that no matter what kind of like life changes you go in your life, it could be you go to school, you have a new job, you move. Like this past 2 years have been crazy in my life. So I've been in that cycle of like, I'm a good eater, but at the same time, there were times where I was like not eating good, and I was like eating cookies, and I'm like, where in my life I ate cookies? And it, like, I didn't realize that going to massage school at night for like 4 days, like not seeing my daughter that much, I was going in like emotional cycle like this, and it was crazy. So I start eating cookies. And like, don't tell that to my, my social media. Shh, that's a secret between you and me. But it was crazy. Like, I could not believe that I was stopping like at midnight and get a cookie because my emotional life, it was getting like a little too drawn up by like my changing of schedule. I usually go to sleep by 9 o'clock and maybe get up by 3 in the morning. But going to school, I had to go to sleep by 12 o'clock, and I have my child that she didn't want to go to sleep until I get home. So I didn't have my child sleeping until midnight. Um, half of the year. So going into that emotional roller coaster, like you said, like life changes, so your body weight fluctuates, right? Changes too because of whatever's going on in your life. So get the support you need. Like I was able to get my mentor, my coaches, my spiritual people, like my friends, and try it out if I needed it because it's truly important. The emotions that are gonna come up are truly powerful that they need to be healed. And losing weight or changing your lifestyle, changing your number, whatever number that is, even if you just change $1 in your bank account, it's still a transformational process in your life, and you need support in it. So in this journey of the 40 days that I'm going through, I was guided to do a 40-day journey to get more of my purification pads because I do a lot of great channeling when I do that, like my spiritual channels. And just to hear when I was guided to do my 40 days, I was like freaking out. Like the fear came. I was like, I know how hard that is. Like all this stuff come up. I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna start? Like I'm gonna, and then I had to plan it to make sure that everything's not with a planning. So I had to make sure that my 40 days goes according to what I feel. And it
Mhm.
wasn't anymore about like the number of the scale or that it didn't count, but like how I'm going to start with a liquid fast, with a dry fast, with like eating this, eating that, eliminating this. So it is important that you focus on how you feel with your body and do what your body really wants at that moment. Like there's a period process where you have to truly come inside of yourself and really see your body and your whole transformation and allow yourself to feel and listen to your body and make the judgment and the changes in your life according to how you're feeling with your body. So if changing your diet or your lifestyle is causing some kind of emotional disturbance and other kind of like a mental craziness in your head, and also Mercury comes around, and then sometimes the red moon and the full moon and all that stuff. Just allow yourself to listen to your body and make the decision from a place that you truly are in love with your body, understand what's going on, and do the changes that you need to do. So changing into your lifestyle, like changing your food means you're just gonna take out one thing out of your diet, let's call it that. That's fine. That's what your body needs right now.
Yeah.
Add something else. Like I learned from an amazing mentor, David Wolf, like one of the real Buddhists, that he always talk about adding in instead of just taking out. Add in something powerful in your life, in all aspects of your life, not just eating wise, like health wise, but also emotionally, financially. Add something into your life first that is so powerful, so complete that it will crowd out all the bad choices that we make. So
Yeah,
make
I love
one
that.
good choice a day, and then you will see how your life can really be transformed in like adding amazing more stuff, good stuff into your life, and the other thing you don't even think about it. It just comes
Yeah.
easily, right?
Yeah. And I love what you said about emotions because and the support because I think the emotional component in our diet, in our food, in our eating is so key because we are emotional beings, and when you get that support and you find other people you can connect with to really support you, you feel like you can do it. I think sometimes, especially as women, we think we can do everything ourselves. We
Hmm.
do it alone. We can conquer the world, and it's just so nice to have that support to really reach out and connect and realize you're not alone because I think especially a lot of the clients I work with who have a lot, like, are just so obsessed and consumed with food and dieting, they feel like they're crazy because they have all these thoughts. And you know, and then they don't tell anyone. And I'm, once they kind of get it out, and I'm like, no, I had those thoughts for like 10 years. Like, you're not crazy. Don't worry. It's just kind of, it makes us feel a little bit more supported and less alone. So.
Yes, and that's what liberating in the beauty is about. It's about creating a community of support, no matter what age you are, what weight number you are, what IQ you have.
I forgot about that one.
We forgot about that one, right? It's like ridiculous. But ooh, my finger. It doesn't matter what number you have, how much money you have in your bank account, what color you are, what religion you are, what belief system you have. Liberating inner beauty is about coming all of us and share our struggles and insight and break free from everything that's keeping us stuck. And that's why I love to connect with Jennifer, and it was such a great person to bring into our revolution because it's about liberating ourselves deeply from within and healing from within.
Yeah.
And that's the core of our transformation. When we do transformation from within, and then we can see a whole world out there truly transformed. So if we want to change the world, we have to change from within and transform from within and get rid of the scale because that is not going to help anybody.
Yes, agreed. Well said.
Awesome. So again, if you want to be part of this amazing support community and receive and have access to Jennifer gift that is must-have guides and the die cycle, you're going to go to www.liberatinginnerbeauty.com. You can also follow Jennifer and Facebook, right, Jennifer? Where else we can follow you?
Yep, it's facebook.com/JenHand Consulting. Or if you just, type in Jen Hand, you'll find me.
Yeah, in Google. Just Google you. Yeah, and you can find more about us at Facebook too. You can find our everything and follow me up and everything you like at facebook.com/Lucia Gabriela Love You. So you make sure that you check that page and you have all the update of amazing speakers like Jennifer, and we're gonna have so many other speakers coming to our YouTube show and bringing amazing gift to our community. We also do a love circles. They're very exciting, very fun, and very inspirational. So if you wanna know more about it, just go to liberatinginnerbeauty.com and just join us and let all of us break free from everything that's keeping us stuck. So share this video, share Jennifer work, share our work, and always with the hashtag break free today. And I love that hashtag.
I love that hashtag too.
Yeah, break free today and share with us everything that you are breaking free from. Okie dokie. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for joining us today. I really love you. You're so beautiful, and you're such a beautiful hair too. And thank you so much for your light, for your message, and for your love, and for your gift to our community. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And again, go to www.liberatinginnerbeauty.com, and we'll see you there. Bye. Have a great one. Love you. Bye.